This is News Talk 880 KJJR and KJJR.com. Ross Strauser here with co-host Reed Trontel. Reed, how are you today?
I'm great, Ross. Thank you.
Well, happy weekend. We are in the studio today with some special guests. Welcome Rowdy and Danielle Waller from Bailey Insurance. Welcome, you two.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, this is Focus on the Flathead, your first time on the show, I understand.
It is.
It is.
Okay, well, let's start by talking about a little bit about yourself, a bit about your personal life, your likes, your hobbies, things that you love to do outside of the insurance game. And Danielle, let's start with you. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Danielle Waller. Been in the Valley for approximately 24 years now. I have a son and 2 grandchildren that keep me quite busy when I'm outside of work. I really enjoy anything to do with the summer in the Flathead Valley. Golfing, camping. In the winter, tend to hibernate, which is good because open enrollment in the health insurance business runs through the winter, and it's a lot of hours.
So that's what you're doing right now?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so do you live right here in the Flathead?
I do.
You live in Kalispell, Montana?
I live in Kalispell, been in the same house for 20 years now.
And specifically, what do you do for Bailey Insurance?
So I am licensed in home and auto and life and health, but my specialty is life and health, specifically with Medicare products and group insurance and life insurance.
Well, we have some time to dig deep into the health insurance game today on this show, so we'll do that a little later on, okay?
Sounds good.
Let's welcome your partner, your friend, your coworker. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Rowdy Fee. Rowdy, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I feel like I should have like a fight bell behind me introducing you, but what a great name. So, and your mother works here at B Broadcasting Radio Network.
Yep. Yeah, she's one of the sales, works in sales.
Well, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so Flathead High School graduate, class of 07, and just moved away after school for a little while, came back. Love it here, always have. This is what'll always be home to me, and yeah.
Okay, so what is your job in the insurance game at Bailey Insurance?
Yeah, so I'm the head of the home and auto. That's my specialty. I don't do the life and health side or anything like that. That's a little bit over my head. People will call. I can try and help, but I get them more mixed up than I probably help them out anyway. So, yeah, the home and auto, that's my specialty, and that covers anything auto, really, like motorcycles, boats, toys, all that fun stuff too.
Well, I want to open this up to either one of you. How did Bailey Insurance get started? I know you've been in the business for at least since 2008, I believe.
8. So Brian used to work for New West Health Services, and then he went to Flathead Insurance, and then went out on his own and started his own agency in 2008. And Brian and I worked together at New West when I worked there, and so I left New West and went into the pharmacy business and did that for approximately 10 years, and then decided that I needed to go back to health insurance. It was my true love, and started working with him in 2014 and been together ever since. So,
and how are things going in the insurance business right now?
Right now, great, because open enrollment is over. There's still some special circumstances where people can change their insurance coverage, but right now we're kind of in the downtime. This is when we do some of the cleanup, and now we're going to do a big marketing push and a campaign to build up the home and auto side with Rowdy.
Before we get into the full interview and talk more about Bailey Insurance, let's welcome our sponsors, Three Rivers Bank of Montana, Glacier Grins Pediatric Dentistry. Thank you so much for being on. Now, Reed, how do they find us online?
So there's a lot of places. bpodcast.com would be the best, and you can click down under shows there. Focus on the Flathead is there. We're also, if you click on the Focus on the Flathead banner on any of our radio websites, we have 7 of them, you will find us. We're also on iTunes, and we're on Facebook. We're all over the place, Ross.
Yeah, and if you can't find us on any of those places, something is definitely wrong. So, Danielle, let's start with you a little bit. Let's talk about what you do in the health insurance business. And by the way, we should mention your location, too. You're on Meridian Court?
Yes, so we are on actually the 4-way stop of Meridian and Center. We are on the southwest corner. Okay. Big white house. Been there for quite a while. Very easy to find, parking in the front, easy accessible.
Okay, so let's talk health insurance.
Yeah, health insurance.
We could go on forever, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
What is going on these days? What's new in health insurance, and what should people know most about Bailey Insurance specifically?
Well, it kind of depends on what health insurance you're looking for. You've got the three specific markets are going to be Medicare, individual, and group. All the open enrollments for individual and Medicare are closed, but there is always a special enrollment that a lot of people are eligible for. The Medicare this year open enrollment was huge. Due to the fact that one of the carriers pulled out of a lot of counties, and so everybody had to re-enroll. So it was quite busy this year, and anybody who was insured with that carrier still may have an open enrollment all the way through the end of February. So we're still kind of busy working with those people there. Individual, that closed also, but anybody who has lost their job, who just moved to the area, is getting married, those are all special enrollments that could allow you to enroll for an individual plan throughout the year. And group enrollment, if you are eligible, if you're a small group, 2 people or more, group enrollment is open anytime during the year. So any small group can apply for health insurance all throughout the year. So that kind of keeps us busy on that side.
So what is left of Obamacare right now? And is the mandate still in place? Is it not in place? What's happening there?
So Obamacare is still, the marketplace is still there. It didn't pass to get totally repealed. Mm-hmm. So we specialize in Obamacare. We're one of the few agencies that will help people with the marketplace and get their insurance through the marketplace. The mandate, yes, you still need to have health insurance. They keep trying to push things through the Senate. Nothing has really gone through right now. So, but if you did not apply during the open enrollment and you were not eligible for a special enrollment, then I can't get you insurance and you can still be penalized for not having health insurance. That's kind of the iffy. Will that penalty still be in place for 2018 or not?
Okay, well, that sounds great. We're going to come back in just a minute. We're going to talk about what you do specifically. What's different about Bailey Insurance than other insurance agencies? And then we're going to roll into Rowdy Fee and talk about what's new and interesting in home and auto insurance and a little bit more about the entire business, all coming up right here on Focus on the Flathead. This is News Talk 880 KJJR and KJJR.com. And this is Focus on the Flathead. We'll be right back.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
If our lives are getting so much better, why has banking fallen so far behind with monthly fees and bad service?
Welcome to MegaBank. Please hold.
Welcome to Kasasa. Free checking with monthly rewards, refunds on ATM fees, and your choice of cash, music, and extra money to save. Upgrade to a free Kasasa account today, exclusively at select community banking providers. Do you, Kasasa?
Ask for Kasasa at Three Rivers Bank of Montana. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
This is News Talk 880 KJJR, and we are back. This is Focus on the Flathead. In the studios with us today, Danielle Waller and Rowdy Fee from Bailey Insurance of Kalispell. They're out on Meridian Court, Suite B. You can get a hold of them at 752-7676. Welcome back, you two.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us.
Yes.
Our show is sponsored today by Three Rivers Bank of Montana, Glacier Grins Pediatric Dentistry, and Reed. You got a couple questions. Let's have them.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rowdy. Thank you, Danielle, for being here. Of course. It's great. And quick question, you had mentioned the tax penalty for not having insurance.
Yes.
Which I've heard, and I'm going, oh no, what exactly is that? Could you explain?
So what that is if you do not have what they call ACA, comparable coverage, which is what you get through the marketplace or direct through the carrier if you don't want to go through the marketplace, you can be penalized for not having insurance. They do allow you to go a couple of months without it. So if you had group insurance and you lost your job, you get 63 days in order to find other insurance. So they don't penalize you for that break in coverage. But if you go the whole year, you go 8 months or 6 months, you could be penalized a flat dollar amount or a percentage of your adjusted gross income, whichever is higher, is what you can be penalized on in your taxes.
Okay. And then just one more would be just on the premiums. Like I look at mine, the carrier will rename unnamed, but it has tripled over the last few years.
Yes.
So is there any relief down the road coming for any of us?
Well, and that, all depends on, it's so complicated and it's a huge calculation with the subsidies and everything else that's going on. And unfortunately, the whole point was everybody was to get insurance. And as you know, the healthy that don't use their insurance basically pays for the unhealthy. It's a big pool of money. And that's how insurance companies will try and build their premiums, is they are estimating all of these people is going to get insurance. They're going to have this pool of money, which then they pay the claims for. Well, when you still have hundreds of thousands of people out there that don't have insurance, that's less money in the pool. The people that got insurance are using it. They're paying out claims, more money than what they have in the pool, hence why you've got increases in premium. So really, it's kind of a catch-22. You got to get everybody insured, but depending on where you are, the insurance for some people is still unaffordable. They're the ones that aren't being insured. Sometimes they're the healthy ones, and that's who you want insured because that's the money that's going in, and they're not really usually taking advantage of it. So,
okay, so a customer comes into to you to acquire some health insurance. How do you decipher the legalese to them if they don't understand what's going on in the world with our government getting into the insurance game as well? How do you do it?
And that's something that we pride ourselves at Bailey Insurance is we really try and just bring it down and make it so simple and easy. And that's what we get most of the time when people walk out. They're like, okay, I understand this now. I didn't when I walked in. And, we really pride ourselves on making sure that we are extremely knowledgeable on all aspects, on the new laws, on I don't want to say loopholes, but the loopholes of maybe being able to get somebody some insurance when they didn't think or were told that they couldn't get insurance. And so we just really pride ourselves on making sure that when they come in, and most of the time they're very frustrated or they don't understand, and by the time they walk out, they're happy. And they've got a plan that is affordable and is one that's going to cover their medical needs. And that's something that we strive to do for every customer that walks in the door.
So that kind of explained my next question, but maybe you could expand on this a little bit. What would people come to you for that say is better than someone else? Well, that might be one of the things, right?
And it is. So we are an independent insurance agency, which means we're not a captive market. So we are not limited just to sell one insurance company. We are contracted with 5 or 6 different health insurance companies. Rowdy is contracted with 5 or 6 different home and auto. So when someone comes in, we can shop it out to all the different companies and really be able to tailor their insurance to their needs. I mean, I get husbands and wives coming in thinking they're going to be on the exact same plan, and I put them on 2 completely different plans depending upon what their health history is, what their mix of medications are. Same with Rowdy. They may come in thinking, they want this company, but really this company is going to work better for them. And that's what we strive to do. And that's what we take our pride in, is making sure that we can be a one-stop full service shop and be able to help them when they have an issue with any of their claims. They can come to us instead of trying to get through the phone maze of these different carriers that you can't end up talking to a person after 10 minutes of pushing buttons. That's what you come to us for, and we handle it for you.
Yeah, what a relief.
Yes.
That someone like you is here, right here in the Flathead Valley.
Our services are no charge.
Wow.
So there's no fee for anyone to come in and get quotes from us. Mm-hmm.
Well, Danielle, you've been very enlightening in the health insurance information game here today on the show. But let's switch over to Rowdy for a minute, huh? And Rowdy, you are a home and auto insurance professional.
Yes, sir.
And so let's start talking about Bailey Insurance and home and auto. Where would you like to start? I mean, there's so much we could talk about here.
Yeah.
Want to start with home insurance?
Yeah. So homeowners insurance, we have standalone companies that do just homeowners insurance. Then we have the companies that do, all of basically what they call property and casualty. And so that they would also do the auto, motorcycle, boats, toys, side-by-sides, all that. But there are standalone homeowners contracts that we have with carriers. So we have about 5 separate just homeowners insurance companies that we can write you through. So when somebody comes to me and they say, they're looking for homeowners insurance, I'll sit down, talk with them, get kind of the specs on their homes, some of the bigger rating factors, wood-burning stove inside your home, roof material, year it was built, any updates, renovations, different things like that. So sit down and kind of go over that with whoever's in front of me, and I'll run it through most of the carriers. I normally have a good idea of who their home is probably going to be the best through, and then obviously if that company does homeowner or auto insurance as well, then quote the autos through them, make sure that's still a good deal for them. Bundling, because some people think bundling's necessary. It's not always necessary. Sometimes you get a better deal by having auto through Progressive and having your home through another carrier, like say MetLife or something like that.
Okay, so in your specific job, are you actually out in the field a little bit? Do you stay in the office all day? Are you an adjuster?
I stay in the office most days. I'll come out to the houses every now and then. Certain carriers will want pictures of the homes, different things like that, especially if people are doing renovations. They'll want proof of that. So that's something I'll go out and take the pictures of. But yeah, for the most part, I'm in the office. Pretty cushy job. It's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So can you talk about specific insurance companies that you're with?
Yeah, so
or that are with you, I should say.
Yeah. So we've got our appointments through Safeco, so they do auto and home. We've got Travelers, they do auto and home. We've got MetLife, they do auto and home. Progressive, they do auto. They do renters insurance. That's something new. That's them. Also, all those carriers do motorcycle, boat as well. And then standalone, Foremost, they do auto and home as well. And then for standalone home, we have American Modern and Flathead Farm Mutual, which is actually just a little local company around here, and they're phenomenal.
Okay.
Well,
Well, if you're just logging on, you're just tuning in, we're with New Talk 880 KJJR, KJJR.com. This is Focus on the Flathead. You're listening to Rowdy Fee and Danielle Waller from Bailey Insurance. We're going to return, talk a little more to Rowdy about what's new in home and auto insurance. Why come to Bailey Insurance? Think about that, Rowdy. Right. We'll ask you that and more coming up in just a few minutes right here on News Talk 880 KJJR. This is Focus on the Flathead.
Hey, this is Dr. Chad with Glacier Grins Pediatric Dentistry, where a kid's smile grows big. As a father of 3 kids who grew up in the Flathead, I understand how each child can be different. We created a fun and relaxed atmosphere here at Glacier Grins and work hard to make sure each child has a positive experience. We are accepting new patients and have immediate openings available. We are located in Hunt Ranch Plaza between Walmart and Sportsman. Book your appointment online at glaciergrins.com or call 890-6055. We look forward to meeting you and becoming your dental home.
This is News Talk 880 KJJR, back again here on Focus on the Flathead. Ross Strauser, Reed Trontel, with Rowdy Fee and Danielle Waller from Bailey Insurance. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here on the weekend and talking about Bailey Insurance. And we're talking right now with Rowdy Fee. And Rowdy, we got a little bit of information out of you about home insurance, but let's talk auto right now. You guys do, a lot of different things, a lot of different companies, and that may be what really sets you apart.
Yeah, so that's one thing that we as independent agencies and independent agents like to do is we have, multiple care. By the time everything's said and done, I have about 8 different companies that I can shop you around for different packages. Whereas there's other insurance agencies out there that are captive markets. They only have the one company to offer you. Now, they might be good on the auto and home or, do good on one product, but offer you the bundle to have the home. And so people think that's a great deal, but it's not always necessary. And that's why, coming to a company like us, I can shop you around and make sure that you are getting the best deal. And then in a year's time, if, rates do go up and you're not satisfied with that, I can reshop it. I still have your information on file. I can go in and update those old quotes and, and switch you and basically make sure you're still getting good coverage and staying, properly covered and still getting the best deal.
What's a good average of what you could save a customer coming on? And when they're with a company, one carrier, and you're able to shop it around? Yeah.
So average savings, it does truly depend on how much they have, the different rating factors of their home. But a couple of different examples. I've had one person come in. He had 2 homes. He has, his like a summer home, and he has his main home, and his cabin, we saved him about $300 a year just on his cabin, and then on his main home, saved him actually about $1,000 a year. And he was with one of those agencies that only sold the one product, and I felt really bad for him because it's actually my father-in-law's best friend, and I felt really bad for him because he had just paid that home off, and so he was getting everything out of escrow because it was all through escrow. So his homeowner's insurance was just kind of built into his mortgage payment, and he didn't realize it. So he was shopping that around, and when I told him I was going to save him about $1,000 a year just on his homeowner's insurance, I felt bad for him because he was pretty upset at the amount of money, and he was actually getting the exact same amount of coverage and yeah.
So you're talking home insurance. You also can shop around for auto insurance. Same way.
Motorcycle insurance, boat. Reed was talking about boats during the break.
Yeah, Reed, you had a question on boat insurance.
Yeah, just the liability factor. It's just something you want to be protected.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize. You can insure just about any motorized product that you want to ride. And you know, some people do, some people don't. They don't realize, you know, just the risks. Like boat owners, you know, boat insurance, there's certain carriers out there you can actually get the liability extended from your homeowner's insurance. It's just a rider that you can throw on there, but that's just the liability factor. Case you somehow injure somebody, you know, you have a midwater collision or something like that. Worst case scenario, I guess, would hit a swimmer or something like that.
Right.
But there's still, you know, that doesn't mean that they're going to cover property damage to your boat or to the other person's boat or the dock that you hit or something like that. So you can get those policies, and, you know, a lot of people don't want to buy them right off the bat. Sometimes, especially like brand new boats, you know, they don't take that into account that it might be $1,000 a year. But that's for a year. You're not really going to use that. You're not going to utilize that whole year. Once you've got it in storage, you can lower your liability. You can take the collision off. You can raise that comprehensive deductible a little bit. That's, you know, that comprehensive kind of covers if it's stolen, something happens to it while you have it stored in your garage, something falls on it, different things like that. And so, you know, overall, it does end up being worth it. You know, I actually have a buddy, he bought a boat, nice little wakeboarding boat, a Centurion, and he was actually surprised. You know, it was like $450 a year for his boat insurance, and it's, you know, $1,000 deductibles, and
Nice.
and yeah, and then we switched that, and, you know, lowered that once he's got it parked, and, you know, it's averaging out like $200 a year now.
Right.
And so
I just learned something new. I'm wasting a bunch of money all winter long.
I know.
I'm going to get over to Bailey Insurance.
Exactly.
There you go.
yeah.
I would say, one more thing I wanted to ask you before we move back over to the health insurance, Rowdy, is what is something that people may not know about you and Bailey Insurance, or both, you, the whole company? What should they know about you, or something they don't know that you want them to know?
Well, so Bailey Insurance Services has been around since 2008, but in 2015 is when Bailey Insurance Services got into the auto and home side, and so it's been we're just now entering our third year of actually being licensed in it. And for 2017, I actually won best insurance agent in the Valley for the Daily Interlake.
Oh my gosh.
The best of the Flathead, yeah. So I was really honored to have won that. That was pretty cool. Something.
Well, we're honored to
such a
have you in
short
the
time.
studio now.
Yeah.
The best insurance agent in Flathead?
Yep. Yeah, and then actually Danielle was one of the honorable mentions as well.
And then the agency was
Agency was third,
Mm-hmm.
for best agency. So we got two of the best agents and one of the best agencies.
You did a lot in a short amount of time.
In a short amount of time, yeah. I feel pretty pumped, pretty excited.
Congratulations on that. I had no idea.
Yeah, he brings
I would have
it-
led the show with that.
Oh, he brings it up all the time in the office. Trust me.
You should get t-shirts printed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a-
Hashtag.
I got
best insurance.
They sent me a plaque, and so I took a picture. I took a selfie next to it, and so anytime somebody posts on Facebook, who's looking for auto and home, I like to post that picture of me and my selfie, if they're not already a client of mine. So.
Is that your profile pic on Facebook?
I should make it my profile
Do
pic.
it.
Yeah.
Well, Danielle, let's get back to you for just a second. Reed, we were talking about during the break, you had a question. We can maybe close the show with answer on this question. What was it?
Yes, I want life insurance. I need to come talk to you. And I've always been just scared of how long is it going to take? What's it going to entail? Where do I have to go get, tested? All this sort of stuff. So, yeah.
So a lot of people feel that way, and they come to find out that it's actually a pretty simple process. We contract with a company that basically shops out, because there are so many life insurance companies out there. Trying to be contracted with them all is crazy. So I have a short little questionnaire that I ask you, and you tell me how much you want, the term, and I send it off, and they give me kind of a baseline quote. And if you are interested in that, then we fill out the application, which is the daunting part, because sometimes it's a 10-page application. But all in all, we can usually get through it in about 10 or 15 minutes. And then I submit that, and then they will send a nurse out to your house, depending upon the amount of money that you want to get. They do blood tests, ask you the same medical questions that I've asked to make sure that everything is okay. And if everything passes, you've got your policy. So it's not as a huge procedure as a lot of times people says, oh, it takes hours and we have to do all of this stuff. It's actually pretty simple.
So are you saying they draw blood right at your house?
Yeah, they'll send a nurse to your house. They'll call you and set up a time and send a nurse
Wow.
to the house and draw the blood. And they check for the nicotine and cholesterol and blood pressure and, just the basics. And if there's something, if you had high cholesterol, then your base price might go up a little bit. But most of the time, that base price that I get is pretty much what comes out for the quote for the amount of money that you're looking for. And we can do anything from $50,000 up to $1 million.
Nice.
Very nice. Well, we have about 30 seconds left. Closing arguments. Danielle, I'm going to give it to you. What do you think? Why should people come to Bailey Insurance?
People need to come to Bailey Insurance because we're just the best. Obviously, we've won Best in the Flathead. We are independent. We can quote you all different types of products. We really put it... make it tailor-made for your situation, whether it be your homes, your autos, your health, your prescriptions, what you're looking for. And then we're here for you all year long. For any problems that you have with any of those policies, call us. We'll be your advocate. And, we're just great to work with. And we're a lot of fun.
And you're fun on the air, too. Hey, guys, thanks so much for being here. Rowdy, good luck. Congratulations on your award this year.
Thank you.
Danielle, thanks so much for being here.
Not a problem.
Yeah, this is News Talk 880 KJJR. You've been listening to Rowdy Fee and Danielle Waller from Bailey Insurance right here in Kalispell, former Meridian Court Suite B, Kalispell, 752-7676. How about the website?
BaileyMT.com.
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 MT like Montana.
Thanks so much, you two, and thanks for coming on into the studio. This is Focus on the Flathead on KJJR.